I used to think I was doing everything right. Graduate college, get a decent job, pay my bills, maybe save a little when I could. But month after month, I found myself stuck. I wasn't going backward, but I definitely wasn't moving forward. And deep down, I kept wondering, why am I working this hard and still broke? Turns out I had walked straight into the finance trap most people fall into in their 20s, and I almost didn't make it out. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk about money, and in the comments tell me honestly, what's the biggest financial mistake you made in your 20s? Let's talk about the truth no one warns us about. When you're in your 20s, everything feels urgent. Everyone's telling you to grind. Take that job. Get that apartment. Buy that car. Celebrate the weekend, you deserve it. And at first it feels good. You're making your own money, living on your terms. But behind that freedom is a silent trap. A trap that's disguised as normal life. For me, it started with my first real paycheck. I remember looking at my bank app, more money than I'd ever seen in one place. And before I could even think, I had already spent half of it. New clothes, eating out, a spontaneous weekend trip, a gym membership. Subscriptions I didn't track, a car payment that looked good on paper. And you know what? I told myself I was being responsible. I wasn't going into debt, I paid my rent on time. I wasn't buying designer stuff. But somehow I never had money left over. And I definitely wasn't saving or investing. I was stuck in the survival spending cycle, making just enough to spend just enough to feel like I was doing okay. The real trap isn't being broke. The trap is looking stable while silently drowning. No one tells you that financial stress doesn't always look like overdraft fees or bill collectors. Sometimes it looks like a new iPhone on monthly payments, or a nice apartment you can barely afford, or dinner and drinks on the weekend that make you feel alive, even if your savings are empty. And the scariest part? Everyone around you is doing the same thing, so it doesn't even feel like a mistake. It feels like life. What really woke me up wasn't some big failure. It was a Tuesday. I was scrolling through social media during lunch and saw a post that hit me like a brick. It said, "Your 20s are the most important decade to build wealth, but most people waste it trying to look like they already have it." That line crushed me, because deep down I knew it was true. I wasn't building anything. I was just spending to feel like I was winning. And that's when I decided to get serious. First, I stopped pretending that I was fine. I pulled up my actual numbers. What I earned, what I spent, what I owed, and what I had saved. Spoiler alert, it wasn't pretty. I had no emergency fund, no investments, a few grand in high-interest credit card debt. And I had no idea where half my money was even going. But instead of panicking, I made a plan. I started with these 3 rules. Track every dollar. Not forever, just long enough to know the truth. Automate my priorities. Savings, debt payments, and investments came first. Fun came second. Cut silently. I didn't announce a no-spend challenge or delete Instagram. I just started making quieter choices. I didn't stop living. I just stopped leaking. I still went out with friends, but less often and more intentionally. I still traveled, but I saved for it instead of putting it on a card. I still bought things, but I waited, researched, and bought once instead of 5 times. And here's the crazy part. As I started saving more, I felt less stressed. As I paid off debt, I felt more confident. As I invested consistently, even small amounts, I started to feel free. Because I finally understood, freedom isn't about what you can buy. It's about what you don't have to worry about. If you're in your 20s right now, I'm begging you, don't fall into the trap. Don't spend your prime financial years trying to prove something to people who aren't watching. Use this decade to build habits, build skills, build assets, build peace. You won't see the results overnight. But 5 years from now, you'll thank yourself 1,000 times over. And if you're already feeling behind, it's not too late. I didn't get it right the first time either. I messed up, overspent, delayed everything. But the day I got honest with myself, that's when everything changed. You don't need a finance degree or 6-figure income to escape the trap. You just need awareness and action. So start today, track your spending. Make a plan, be different, even if it's uncomfortable. If this message hit you, like this video so YouTube shows it to someone else who needs it. Subscribe to the channel for more real talk about money, mindset, and escaping the cycles that keep people stuck. And let's talk in the comments. What's one money habit you wish you learned earlier? This isn't just about money. It's about designing a life that's actually yours. A life where you're not chasing the next paycheck, where you're not stuck impressing people, where you're not constantly anxious about money. You can escape the trap, and it starts with one decision. See you in the next one.